Super Saiyan 5 Gohan, while having defeated 2 Shadow Dragons, has fallen in battle as he put his very life on the line to finish this mission and save Pan. Although the warning about the Super Saiyan 5 transformation from Elder Kai was very clear, Gohan would eventually come to terms with what the difference is between him and Goku in these situations. Exactly what needed to be put on the line to win this battle: his life. This is chapter 14 of Dragon Ball AF, and the Shadow Dragon saga is coming to a climax. Gohan's lifeless body may lie on the surface of planet Kachin, but how did we get here? Father, Gohan calls out while the Shadow Dragon is waiting on him. I'm certain I heard it at that moment. Father's voice, he says. All of a sudden, a familiar voice calls out to him. Gohan, it says. It's Goku. Father, is that you? Gohan asks. Goku actually contacts him telepathically, at least I think that's what's going on here, as Goku replies that, yeah, it is. And he apologizes for causing so much trouble this time around. No, not at all. It's me who should apologize, Gohan says. I'm so useless. I let Pan die. Sorry. Hearing his son heartbroken and crushed to this extent changes something inside Goku though, as he says that he has a request for him. The evil power binding him has been purified for the most part, but still not to the degree that he can fight, Goku says. So, I want you to defeat Super Yi Shenron no matter what. I'm sure you can do it. Just believe in yourself. But I've already used up all my power, Gohan replies as he stands there defenseless against the Shadow Dragon. However, Goku tells him not to give up. Do you want to create more victims? You've seen how I fought all this time, right? This is when Gohan starts to remember how each and every time Goku was pit against an opponent stronger than him, he did whatever it took to find a way to win, even if it cost him everything. Rest assured, Goku goes on, after you beat this one, leave the rest to me. This is all Gohan needed to hear to reaffirm his resolve and understanding of exactly what he needs to do here, no matter how difficult it may be. Because of those words from his father, Gohan was able to give it everything he had, transforming back into a Super Saiyan 5, although he understood the fatality of it and defeating Super Yi Shenron. And he was able to have peace of mind and leave everything to Father with no regrets whatsoever. Thank you, Father. Please save Pan and the Earth, Gohan pleads as his life force fades away. Now, back in the present day, Goku is laser focused, understanding the situation that they're in and what's been lost so far as he walks towards Elder Kai with intense resolve. Gramps, I'm sorry this is so sudden, but would you please hear me out? As I am now, I can't defeat the evil dragon. So please train me, he asks. Back in the demon realm, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is in the middle of a heated engagement with the 4-star Shadow Dragon as he throws a punch, but the dragon evades it. Vegeta turns around and blasts him, but as the attack homes in, he vanishes. All of a sudden, the 4-star Shadow Dragon appears behind Vegeta. He throws a punch that Vegeta is easily able to evade, and then he returns a punch of his own that levels the Shadow Dragon, who was unexpecting of such a precise counterattack. Then, he kicks the dragon across the battlefield through a clear side nearby, where he now starts charging his next attack in a familiar pose. Vegeta starts gathering a massive amount of ki in the palms of his hands, charging a final flash that looks to obliterate his opponent. When he releases the blast, it rips through the battlefield, soaring towards his opponent, creating a massive explosion that erupts throughout the demon realm. As the smoke subsides, Vegeta, thinking that he's already won, said that the dragon was actually weaker than he thought. What a letdown. All of a sudden, the Shadow Dragon leaps out of the debris into the sky above, looking down at Vegeta with that same sinister smirk on his face. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that that last attack did much of anything. So, I guess you're tougher than I thought, Vegeta says. I'm glad I have such a worthy opponent this time, as the dragon calls him quite the egotistical bastard. You don't seem to understand anything, he says as he looks at Vegeta as a naive earthling. You're too particular about the outward appearance of strength. The outward appearance, you say, Vegeta asks. What is that supposed to mean? The answer is simple, the Shadow Dragon replies. I'm much stronger than you. Overwhelmingly so. Vegeta thinks that he's bluffing, but the Shadow Dragon starts releasing an alarming amount of negative energy. All of a sudden, he launches himself at Vegeta at a much higher rate of speed than he's shown prior, taking even Vegeta off guard. He clocks Vegeta in the face with his newfound speed before then kicking him across the battlefield. He then follows Vegeta's body throughout the air before appearing above him and then eventually sending him soaring back towards the ground below. Vegeta crashes into the rubble below, creating a large smoke screen from the debris flying everywhere, but as he gets back to his feet, the dragon appears behind him. He overwhelms Vegeta with a flurry of attacks, attempting to wear him down as attack after attack, he tears into the Saiyan. Next, the dragon launches a giant Neo Dragon Ball, which is a giant blast that comes out in the shape of a dragon and looks to engulf Vegeta. The attack rips through the demon realm and does seem to engulf and potentially make a direct hit on Vegeta, with the Shadow Dragon looking on, assuming that this one has finally come to an end. Back on the Spectator's planet, Kibito Kai has finally returned with Oob, Goten, and Trunks along with Gohan's body. But to their surprise, someone else is also here. It's Goku, and he's in the middle of a very important inner battle. Needless to say, the three of them are extremely emotional to see Goku again after all these years, and this means that Gohan's sacrifice isn't in vain. However, they've arrived during a very crucial part of Goku's training. He's undergoing the same emotional training that Vegeta and Gohan did, which could only mean one thing. Back in the Demon Realm with Vegeta and the 4-star dragon, the dragon is disappointed that it seems Vegeta was all talk after not sensing any movement after his last attack. However, as soon as he begins to count Vegeta out, a rupture of wild ki begins to surface. A furious wave of rage erupts from the explosion site where Vegeta took that last attack, as finally, Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta is born once again. Although I will say, in my opinion, this should have happened a few encounters ago because we saw what waiting too long did to Gohan in his fight. Hopefully though, Vegeta's massive amount of experience over Gohan will make a slight difference in this one. Vegeta tells the dragon that he got a bit too carried away and arrogant. Now, he's gonna crush him to death. I see, the dragon replies. So I was mistaken too. I can't believe you were actually holding back. Interesting. It looks like this is gonna be kind of fun. Vegeta, however, is in no mood to prolong this battle, understanding the negatives that could come of it if so. So, he charges at the dragon in a bid to end this once and for all. With the exponential increase in his speed, even the dragon is unprepared by how much Vegeta just powered up, and he's taken aback by how fast he's gotten. Vegeta lands a vicious combo on the dragon, crippling him with an onslaught of attacks before finally charging up and landing a creasing kick to his midsection. This kick sends the dragon sliding backwards across the demon realm. He doesn't stop there though. He charges at the dragon again and keeps the assault going, overwhelming the dragon but also exerting an absurd amount of stamina and ki that can't be overlooked. Vegeta launches him into the air with another kick before appearing over the dragon, showing his impressive speed once again. Next, now at point blank range, Vegeta prepares to blast the dragon with a devastating final shine attack. His attack blows the Shadow Dragon away down into the rubble below, as it looks like he may have actually not only done some serious damage to him this time, but possibly even destroyed the Shadow Dragon. A massive mushroom cloud erupts from the site of the explosion, and a giant crater is created as Vegeta looks on to see what's become of his opponent. However, this still hasn't done the 4-star Shadow Dragon in, as we can see him stepping out of the smoke in the crater shortly thereafter. "I'm shocked," he says. "It seems you have indeed powered up considerably even. Now it's time for me to get a little more serious." He leaps back up to where Vegeta is, as unfortunately, it seems like Vegeta may have made that same mistake as Gohan, saying that the damage he took before was a little more than he initially thought. "We're gonna settle this immediately," he says, as he knows his time limit is running out. This is when the dragon readies himself and starts raising his own power level to the shock of Vegeta. His negative energy aura perfectly encapsulates the shape of his body, almost like an aura of armor engulfing him. This is his dragon jacket, as he calls it. Vegeta kinda making fun of his name a little, but with what the dragon is doing at full power and Vegeta's power slowly depleting, this isn't a joke anymore. The dragon dares him to charge at him again, now that they're finally both at full power, with the two clashing in the middle of the battlefield, causing one of those huge Tenkaichi 3 shockwaves that destroys the land around them. Now, the dragon is able to easily counter and tank most of Vegeta's attacks, as there still isn't one person in control, but this has easily become a battle of endurance at this point. These two continue to go back and forth, trying everything they can to wear the other down, but at the same time, both enjoying the intensity of a battle this high level as well. They clash once more in the middle of the battlefield, creating another huge crater before separating to end another round. Vegeta decides that it's time to wrap this up, as his time as a Super Saiyan 5 is rapidly coming to an end, so he gets in his galactic gun stance. However, the dragon, still with this unshakable smirk on his face, prepares his attack too. Vegeta fires his Super Gallic gun, met by the 4-star dragon's Neo Dragon Ball, a giant beam in the shape of a dragon, as their two attacks collide in the middle of the demon realm in an epic beam struggle. While this beam struggle may not exactly declare the winner, both Vegeta and the dragon are exhausting extreme levels of ki. Vegeta tries to overwhelm the dragon, dumping the majority of the ki he has left in an attempt to engulf the dragon's attack, but the 4-star dragon returns the same intensity with his attack as well. This game of mercy ending in what seems to be a stalemate as the attacks explode in the center of the struggle. Vegeta is exhausted. If this doesn't end it, he's cooked, as even before he sees any sign of what's become of his opponent, it happens. The worst case scenario, he loses control and the mental anguish of maintaining Super Saiyan 5 overwhelms him, and as we expected, Vegeta falls back to his base form, trembling from exhaustion. All of a sudden though, through the smoke, Vegeta begins to make out the silhouette of the dragon, who still seems to have barely taken any damage. However, his dragon jacket is gone at the very least. "You monster," Vegeta says, as the dragon replies that it looks like this little game of theirs is finally over. "That was pretty good though. The least I can do for you is to give you a quick death." "Don't think it'll be that easy," Vegeta replies, as in a last-ditch effort, he transforms into a Super Saiyan with the remaining energy he has left. The dragon holds nothing back though, as he goes to town on a weakened Vegeta who can barely throw a punch anymore, beating him within an inch of his life, slinging him all over the battlefield before eventually grabbing him by his hair and holding him up, before preparing to launch his final attack to put the Saiyan down for good. He holds a blast to Vegeta's chest, as much like Gohan, it seems like Vegeta may meet his end here, saying, "How pathetic. How can I suffer such an unsightly defeat?" he says to himself, ashamed, and with tears running down his face, says, "Kakarot, it seems like I couldn't protect the earth that you protected." He apologizes to Gohan, Pan, and yes, even Goku, as it seems like even his best wasn't enough this time, and with that, the dragon prepares to launch his final attack. However, a crushing punch separates the two, causing the dragon to drop Vegeta as Super Saiyan 4 Goku appears out of nowhere. "Who are you?" the dragon says, wiping himself off. The dragon demands to know who he is as an angry Super Saiyan 4 Goku, after losing Gohan and Pan, refuses to lose Vegeta as well. "You kept us waiting long enough," Vegeta says as he lets out a sigh of relief. "Sorry for being late, Vegeta," Goku replies. With Goku finally completely revived, the tides of this battle are shifting as the others wonder just what was Goku able to achieve in such a short time training. Will he be able to defeat this Shadow Dragon that already battled against the Super Saiyan 5 and won? In Chapter 15 of Dragon Ball AF, Super Saiyan 5 Goku will finally make his first appearance, and who knows, maybe even Super Saiyan 5 Vegeta will fight alongside him, helping them edge out this battle against the strongest Shadow Dragon they've ever encountered.